Alright, hello guys, and welcome to this week's market commentary video. But before we get into what I'm expecting for this week, I want to quickly talk about my last week performance. Last week I closed one of the toughest week I've had in a long time. I had 3 back-to-back losses. Every position I took last week were complete and total losses. 3 back-to-back losses. I haven't had a streak like that in a really long time, so I want to talk about it before we dive into what our expectation is for this week. I took a long position after price swept out this low, and also some intraday setup. I think on Tuesday, on Tuesday, and I'm aiming for buy side liquidities. I mentioned this a lot. Setup like this tends to provide high probability, especially once liquidity is taken on one side. And in this case, it was this low. We had a sweep of liquidity right on this low, and then a feedback willingness of price to wanna displace to our targeted objective, and that's this buy side liquidity right here. Oftentimes, when we have price take out liquidity, price oftentimes reverses and drive in the opposite direction. This is a pattern I've seen play out over and over again, and I've been using it a lot in my trading. So I took a long and then target buy side. I think I was up about 2.5%, and then it got stopped out right here. Both my intraday setup, and also I was executing swing setups. If you've been following me for a while now in my Telegram, you'll know I've been buying gold for almost a month, and then we've been buying gold from this level, and then we are targeting further upside price. So I took another swing, and then it put off the setup, got stopped out, and I was down 2% for the week. And also another setup on Thursday, risking 0.5%, and then that also was a total loss for me. So I like to pay attention during times like this when I take a trade and then nothing seems to be working, even though the feedback from price seems solid. I like to pay attention because this is where a lot of traders mess things up, and they ended up paying the price in a really terrible way. If it's via my previous self, I will probably be ending the week with a blown account, because shit like this get to me. But that was really long time ago. When you take losses, you see a setup and then you thought it's gonna play out, and then you get stopped out. Then you go on a tailspin to wanna recover it, and that's how the cycle continues. So I'm telling you from experience, it's not the way, guys. Even with that drawdown, I'm still up about 7% for the month, which is also a good reminder why consistency and risk management matters the most. You have to focus on controlling your controllables. These are the only things you can control. You don't control what price will do. I know I say this oftentimes. There's no 100% certainty price is going to your target objective when you take on trades, or you're gonna lose that position. There is never 100% certainty. And that's why you have to be controlled when it comes to your risks. So for this week, price action itself hasn't been the cleanest. It's been quite choppy and less predictable. Even with my overall bias still bullish, I'm not rushing into anything this week because, like I've mentioned before, if you watch the previous commentary videos on market, we've been taking long position ever since we had a run on stop this level, and then this is where we at. Also, these are daily premium level, premium fair value gap, which where price will also react to, and which I'm not really expecting this. and here we are consolidating. So I will not be engaging in price this week. We're waiting for clearer order flow and better confirmation before getting involved. My order flow is bullish. I'm only interested in longs. For now, I'll be staying patient and protecting my capital, and then waiting on the sidelines for price to show me its hand before I'll do anything, because it's easy to get lost trying to chase straight, especially when price action get messy like this. These are the times I train myself to stay out of the market and not to do anything, because I know where I'm most likely going to mess up. Because why risk it all on the lowest probability when price, you can just wait for some time for price to provide one of the cleanest probability and conditions for you to take trade. So it's not just worth it, guys. Once we have a clear order flow, I'll be updating you guys on what I'll be doing next. For now, our order flow and our overall trajectory in price remain bullish. So this is the end of the video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos, and God bless.